The economy is shit. The recession is probably going to continue for a while. So today we're going to talk about 11 things you can do as an individual, as an employee, as a worker in our economy. What you can do to survive the current recession and maybe even thrive. All right, let's get to it. The economy is in the shit right now. I mean, I actually made a video about why this recession is happening. You can click the link here or down below to find that video, and I explain clearly why this recession is happening. It has a lot to do with COVID, a lot to do with governments printing a lot of money. There's a lot of money floating around in the economy. It has to do with very low interest rate. It has to do with a lot of bubbles in the stock market and the real estate market. It has to do with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It has to do with many things. The invasion of Ukraine caused the energy price to go up, caused the food prices to go up because Ukraine and Russia are two major food production countries. So you can find that video, you can watch it to find out why we are in this stagflation situation. And the recession that we're in is not a normal recession, all right? This is a structural recession. It's stagflation, meaning the economy is not doing well, but the inflation is going up. And typically when this happens, it's much harder to correct. It means that it's gonna last much longer and it's gonna be more painful, all right? So today we're gonna talk about 11 things that you can do to navigate yourself through this recession and hopefully at the end of it, even thrive from it, all right? So let's get to number 1. Because you know the economy is bad, your company is probably thinking about laying people off. They probably want to reduce their workforce because payroll is always the #1 expense of any company. All right, I have a lot of companies. I know like the #1 expense for all of my companies are payroll. All right, so they're probably thinking about how to reduce that payroll, and if it should happen, they lay you off, they let you go, they terminate your employment, then gotta cut spending now and put more money into savings to cover that contingency. So a good idea is 50, 30, 20, all right? So 50% of your income should be spent on necessities like your rent, like your house, like your food, like all the things that you need, right? And the 30% should probably spend on nice things, like nice to have, like going to the movies, having coffee with friends. Those things are nice to have but not necessary. And the remaining 20% should go into savings. So you should create a savings account, find the savings account with the highest interest rate, and then put the 20% of your income into that. So whenever you get a paycheck, you put 20% of that paycheck into that account. It's like you're paying yourself, right? Every month you pay yourself. That 20% go into the saving account and you don't touch it, right? That becomes your emergency fund. Just in case something happens, maybe your company lay you off, your company let you go, terminate your employment. Now you have some money there, right? You have some money there to cover your emergency. You don't want to go to your mom and dad and say, "Oh, I got laid off, oh, please let me have some money," or go to your friends and say, "Please let me borrow some money," because that makes you look like a fucking idiot and a fucking loser and a fucking fucktard, right? So of course you want to have an emergency fund, right? That should be in the form of a high interest saving account, and you should put 20% of your income into that, and you should build an emergency fund that will last you 3 months to 6 months in case you get laid off, in case you don't have a job, you have no income, then that emergency fund should cover you up 3 to 6 months, because it may take you up to 3 to 6 months to find another job, all right? So just be prepared for it. In Vietnam, in the last, probably last 5 years, it's becoming popular for young people to accrue a lot of debt because it's very easy to go to FE credit, home credit, or all kinds of credit places and get money. The interest rate is very high, but it never stopped young people from going to those places. How I know? Because I have a lot of employees that do that, and when they cannot pay back, they suddenly disappear. They borrow a lot of money from my other employees and then they poof disappear, right? Those are fucking fucktards, but it happens. So the economy is not doing well. If you have a lot of debt, maybe you owe the bank, maybe you owe loan shark, maybe you owe like FE credit or home credit or other credit companies, now's the time to look at all the money that you owe and figure out how to pay them back now, because the interest rate will only get higher and higher and higher and higher. It will become very, very difficult to service that debt, and you want to be able to get rid of that debt as soon as possible so you don't have to service it. So if you cannot pay off your debt, let's say you don't have enough money to pay all the debt you have, well, you're really fucked, all right? I mean, if that's the case, then, well, I don't know, just like fucking cut your arm and let it bleed out, okay? But if you're in that situation, what you can do is you can find other options to lower your interest. So for example, let's say you have a debt with FE credit and you have to pay 20%, all right? Find another credit company that offers a lower interest rate. So by transferring your debt from one credit company to another, you will save on interest. That is if you cannot pay back your debt, right? That's one thing that you can do. So number 4 is manage your debt. Now we talk about all the things you can do about cutting your spending, like reduce your debt, manage your debt. Now we talk about number 5, which is how to ensure your income, all right? Number 5 is to prove yourself valuable in your job, all right? So you probably have a job. If not, well, you're fucked, right? But if you have a job, now's the time to prove to your manager, prove to your leader, prove to your boss that you are a valuable member of that company. You have to show that you are important. You produce a lot of results. You can help the company grow. The boss needs to see it, right? When they see that you're valuable, then you're less likely to get laid off, right? But if they think you're useless, they think you're just an extra person in the team, then when it comes to the time to cut people off, you will be on the list. So now is the time to show yourself off, prove yourself valuable. You can do that by actually delivering results, like fix the bug, right? Produce the financial report, make the product more performant, serve the customers better, and more importantly, your leader, your manager, and your boss need to see it. If they don't know that you're doing a great job, they don't know, right? You gotta let them know that you're doing a great job. You really have to do a great job, and they really have to see it. And when that happens, then you are safer from layoffs. And if in your job right now, nobody cares about you, nobody is giving you something important, like nobody actually believes in you, now is the time to be proactive and reach out to your leader, your manager, your boss, and say, hey, give me a new project. I want to work on a new project, okay? And also you should learn some new skills, right? So take on new projects, learn some new skills, become useful, right? And even if you get laid off, let's say you did all that and you still get laid off, at least you have something to say on your CV, right? You did this project, you did this, you did that. So you'll become more attractive to the next employer, right? So now is the time to build those new skills, take on new projects, be proactive, and do more. And when bad things happen, now you can take all that experience and show off to your next employer. So you may not keep that job because the economy is in terrible shit, all right? So start a side hustle. Maybe there's a lot of freelance sites on the internet, like Fiverr, like I don't know. You can search for them, and you can offer your services on those sites, and you can make a side income. There are many sites like that, and that's one way to start a second income. And in the event that you lose your job, you still have your side income. So that's one way to mitigate the risk of getting laid off. But of course, I always say, just do a great job with your first job so you don't have to worry about that, right? If you're doing shit work at your job, then of course, you need to worry, and you probably need to pick up a side hustle. So if you're like a shit employee, maybe pick up a side hustle. But if you're a shit employee, your side hustle is gonna be shit too, because that's the way it works. Like, shit only breeds shit. All right. Good people don't need a side hustle. Bad people need side hustle, but they're probably not good at side hustle anyways. You know what I mean? Right? But just an idea, you can start a side hustle, but not for the employees in my company, because in my employment contract, it's very clear you cannot start a side hustle. We do not allow people in our company to work on a second job. And when we find out, we lay you off for sure, right? So that's our company. If your company allows it, you can consider it. But for our company, if you work on a side hustle, we fucking kill you, all right? It's in our contract. But if you work for our company, you can start a side hustle by talking to me. You say, Tom, I see there's a problem in the company and I want to help and solve that problem, and I want to get paid for solving that problem. And you know what? When people come to me like that, I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't necessarily believe you can solve the problem. I probably think you're a fucktard. But if you come to me and say you can solve a problem and you're willing to get paid on the result, I will say yes, go ahead, right? I pay you on result. If you can give me 1 million sessions visitors on my website, then yeah, I'll pay you anything you want, right? If you can give me a new feature in my product, yeah, I'll pay you whatever you want, right? So if you work for me, you don't need to go out and look for side hustles. You can get side hustles in my companies, right? So just an idea. Let me take a sip of this wine. The economy is not good right now, right? So employers want people with skill sets. So now it's the time to learn video editing, photo editing, learn a new programming language, learn how to do Excel, because Excel is kind of useful. I have hired people that don't even know how to use Excel. What is a fucking pivot table? Oh, right? You don't even know what a pivot table is, or how to use VLOOKUP. And then, now's the time to learn, right? Now is the time to learn all those things, because they will become useful in your current or maybe even future jobs. So learn new skills so that you become more valuable, so you're less likely to get laid off. Not everybody's good at networking, but now is probably the time to start learning how to network. So go to events, meet people, meet other companies, because assuming that you think you're gonna get laid off, right? Then if you're a great employee, you don't need to worry about it, seriously. Only the fucking fucktards need to worry about this. But if you think you're a fucking fucktard and you're probably gonna get laid off, now's the time to get networking, right? Go meet new company, meet people, and so that when you do get laid off, you have a smooth transition into another company. Again, good people don't need to think about this. Only the shitty people need to think about this. Go to events, meet people, shake hands, introduce yourself, tell people what you can do. But most likely, if you're shit, you can't tell them what you can do, and they don't fucking believe you anyways. Yeah, if you're a fucking fucktard, then yeah, you should keep your CV updated, because you're gonna get laid off, alright? You're gonna get laid off. So keep your CV updated so that in the event, the day that you get laid off, you can start looking for a new job. Makes sense. Number 10, because you're gonna get laid off, so now consider reducing your housing cost, all right? So I don't know what is your housing situation. Maybe you live by yourself, maybe you live in a shared apartment, maybe you live with your mom and dad. Maybe you have to consider, finding a roommate to share the housing cost. Maybe you need to move back with your mom and dad just to reduce the housing cost, because by reducing the housing cost, and for most people, housing cost is number one expense, right? For business, payroll is the number one expense. For individuals, the number one expense is always housing. So if you can get that cost down, then you will have more money for saving. because you're a fucktard, you'll probably get fired and you need more savings to cover your emergency. So therefore, you need to reduce your housing cost. This one, I don't think you need to worry about it because you're a fucktard, right? So like you need to continue to invest, right? Yeah, fuck, you're a fucktard. You don't have money to invest. But let's say if you do, right? If you're really a responsible, sensible person, and you make an income and you put 20% of your money into a savings account. Now, maybe instead of a savings account, look for other investment vehicles. Maybe stocks, maybe REITs. There are many things that you can invest in that will give you better return than the bank. And look at different investment vehicles and diversify your investment. Don't put all your investment in one basket. Don't invest in only a single stock. Don't just buy Vingroup stock, okay? Because that's a huge risk. I've done that before, and I've told that story before. There was a time when I invested in a single stock, and that company went bankrupt, and I had a huge loss. I mean huge, massive, so much money that you probably cannot make in your entire lifetime. But for me, it was okay, fuck that, right? But the lesson here is don't put all your money in a single investment vehicle. Always diversify. And also you have to take a long-term approach. Let me drink. When you're investing, we're investing for the long term, the 5-year, the 10-year, right? So when you invest in something, it's not like you look at the value, the stock value every single day. Say, oh fuck, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down more, right? It's not like that, because when we invest, we're actually investing for the long term. We're not looking for the day-to-day increment. We're not looking for the day-to-day benefit. We're looking for the 5 years, 10 years. If I invest at $5 in the next 10 years, this stock is going to go to $15. That's what we're looking for. That's how you should think too. You don't need to think about putting the money in and taking it out 2 days after, because nobody can predict the short term. Nobody can predict the short term. But generally, if you invest in the long term, it's more clear. It's more guaranteed, because if you invest the right companies and give it enough time, the general value for real estate, for stock, will always rise. All right. So there are 11 things that you can do to protect yourself in this recession, and maybe at the end of it, thrive from it. All right. Actually, maybe I'll just add one more thing at the end here. Generally, in a recession, values of many things go down, including houses, apartments, cars. There's a lot of people selling like their hot, sexy cars right now because they need money. So if you have the money, and now's a good time to invest into those assets. Actually, don't buy a car. That's stupid. All right, only stupid people buy a lot of cars. Right? But you can look at, don't buy a boat, all right? Don't buy a boat, okay? That's like stupid people, only stupid people buy a boat, because those things are depreciating assets, right? Like they don't keep your money, right? You lose money with those. Look at real estate, look at REITs, look at stock, but have a long-term approach. Now's the time to pick up some, good deals, because all the values are probably at their bottom right now. So now's the time to get in onto some investment vehicles if you have the money. If you don't have the money, don't invest, right? If you have like 100k or 500k, I'm talking about Vietnamese dong, right? If you have like $50, don't even think about investing. Instead, think about how to increase your skill sets, increase your ability to do things, right? And so that you can be more useful to companies and other people. That's how you're gonna create value when you have no money, right? You don't have money, then you have to have skills. When you have money, then you can use money to make more money. I hope that makes sense to you, man. All right, so take some fucking action. So here are the 11 ways that you can protect yourself against this very difficult recession. It's gonna last a while, all right? And don't be a fucktard.